at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
DailySignal.com, Heritage.org, and Genevieve Wood cannot wait to see you on home turf here in St. Louis for the Allman in the Evening Speaker Series with the Heritage Foundation. And you have Genevieve Wood, Jim Carafano, and Senator Jim Talent. That's Thursday, the 4th of May. At the Norman Probstein Golf Course Clubhouse right there in Forest Park. The event is free, but you have to register. 971talk.com. Go to get your tickets there. And this is all presented by Weber Chevrolet, and it'll be fun to see you again.
Jamie, I'm looking forward to it on your home turf. I've seen you when we were both in Cleveland for the GOP convention, but this will be, your folks.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Have you been to St. Louis before?
I have been to St. Louis. It's a great city.
Yeah, well, it'll be fun. It's a beautiful setting there at Forest Park. It's the Forest Park Clubhouse, and so, on a beautiful evening in May, it'll be luscious on the golf course there. It'll be fun, and we've got.
And I love Senator. I have not seen Senator Talent in some time, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. Carafano, I see all the time.
Yeah, do you? Yeah, it's like, do you guys bump into each other in the hallway and everything there?
Fairly often, because my office is right across from our TV studio, and so whenever he comes in to do a hit with you or with Fox or whoever, I always see him then, and he just walks the hallways.
Yeah. Well, this is timed perfectly because there's so much to talk about, obviously, internationally and, of course, nationally regarding our national security and other issues of which you guys are experts. So, So let's take, for instance, Russia first. What's your take on what's happening over there?
Well, I think, I think we're surprised by our actions. I think they were surprised that Trump was as strong as he was in responding as he did in Syria. And Rex Tillerson has minced no words, our new Secretary of State, and what our position is and what he thinks Russia's position ought to be. And he said quite rightly, it's up to the Russians how they handle these situations. But, if we were advising them, here's the way I would see the world. I think he's put them on notice, and not just Russia. I think plenty of other countries. But it's very clear to me that what many in the media and the left have been saying about they're going to be in the pocket of the Kremlin, I don't think so.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about the strategy where, at this point, first, President Trump does an interview with Maria Bartiromo while Tillerson is over in Russia? And basically, the nutshell is, hey, Vladimir, you're an idiot for hanging out with Assad in this fashion. It's embarrassing you, and if I were you, I wouldn't be with the guy anymore. And they're trying to actually do perhaps more organic regime change, which I think most Americans would support in terms of us not militarily doing it. But what do you think about that strategy?
Well, like I said, I think they're making it very clear. I'm sure there's things going on in backroom negotiations and the like, but this President Trump, throughout his campaign, wisely, I think, used the media to channel messages to other people, and I think he's doing that here. So he's here on the American airwaves doing his thing, while, like I said, you have Rex Tillerson over there delivering, I think, a very strong message. So, and again, when they deliver the message, it's not confusing, it's not unclear. We're not talking about, kind of these new campaign slogans, New Start and all that sort of thing. It's very clear, I think, what our position is going to be, without saying, here's exactly what we'll do tomorrow if you act in a certain way, but it's very clear we will act. You'll find out what that action is, but just know we will act. And I think that's what most of the world has not believed for the past 8 years.
Does your gut tell you that President Trump will retain his non-interventionalist flair, and that do you feel like there's no way we're going to get involved in military operations to change the regime there?
Jamie, I don't know, but look, I don't think that was where I don't think that he personally, based on past statements, is where he wants to go. I don't think many of the people who voted for him, that's not where they want him to go. And I don't think all the people surrounding him are etching to get into another war. But, you can act and you can take decisive action, as we have done, without getting into war. And the question is, what do you do from here? But there's plenty that can be done without having to enter war against Syria. And I don't think the administration is going to want to enter that kind of activity right now.
And how do you deal with North Korea? What are we going to do about that?
Maybe I should have Rex Tillerson's job.
Honestly, the kind of position I'm putting you in right now, yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. No, well, I mean, look, again, I think, and this is, when you see the action in Syria, I mean, yes, that was a specific strike against that particular country for an action they took, but it sends a message to other would-be thugs or current thugs, would-be activists, such as you have in North Korea, that there are going to be repercussions for actions you take that can be seen as a threat outside of your border. And people say, well, this is just a threat inside Syria. Look, if those chemical weapons got into the hands, and I feel terrible for the people that were killed in Syria, but beyond even that, the reason it's in our national interest is because if those kind of weapons get into the hands of people who would use them outside the Syrian border, that can certainly affect the United States. So that's, I think that's why these other countries that want to play outside of their borders, North Korea being one of them, I think it sends them a very clear message. There will be action taken. We're not going to tell you what it is or when it will be, but there will be action. And, like I said, this is not something they have felt for the past 8 years. I think they have believed they can pretty much get away with continuing to push the button, push the envelope, and get away with what they want. And I think they now know that may not be the case. And especially if Russia starts feeling the pressure, China starts feeling some pressure, realizing that the U.S. is going to take more of a leadership role, more of an active role, that also boxes in countries like North Korea because they need China and Russia to help them out and be their allies. And if they can't count on them, that also, like I said, it makes a big difference in, I think, how they act.
Well, we sure can tell who isn't there anymore. Obama! So, Genevieve Wood, we'll look forward to seeing you on the 4th of May at Genevieve Wood, heritage.org. Thank you, dear. We'll talk to you next week.